Hello, and it's good to have you back here on Culture Mosaic. Now, this edition is packed with exciting news and culture stories across the nation. When I first discovered the unique weaving craft of Lachi ethnic people in Hà Giang, Northern Province. Then in our On the Mic, an overseas basketball player returned to his home country, Vietnam, to fulfill the promise to his mother. We will discover the stories behind his journey. And last but not least, our Connecting Cultures this week will give you a glance of the culture of Kafkas as a convergence of Europe and Asia. These and more coming up. Unique weaving craft of Lachi people in Hà Giang province. Overseas basketball player returned to fulfill a promise to his mother. And culture of Kafkas as convergence of Europe and Asia. We now start things off by taking a look back on cultural highlights over the past week. On Monday, Sơn Tùng MTP officially launched a trailer to introduce his upcoming tour, Sky Tour 2019. The trailer, which is 1 minute and 28 seconds long, is made with black and white as the theme colors. The trailer also included a number of Sơn Tùng previous stage performances. The video also features the appearance of music producers Linh Vi, Amian, Long Halo, and Kak Hưng. These are likely the names that ensure the quality of music in this tour. Although the launching day of the tour hasn't been revealed, his fans are very excited to see their idol in a grand tour after a long time of waiting. Hoàng Thùy Linh, meanwhile, has officially returned to the music industry with Let Me Tell You music video, which is from her third album after 8 years not releasing any new album. The return of Hoàng Thùy Linh has astonished viewers when bringing all popular Vedette literature characters into the MV. The fact that the characters used to be nightmares of many generations of students was suddenly realized in such a lovely way has made learning literature more easy than ever. Thịnh Suy has recently released a new music video, Thắc Mắc or Wondering. Now, Wondering is a song with a simple, easy to listen and catchy melody and lyrics that can cause one to get addicted easily. If his first released song One Drunk Night is a story of an unrequited lover, Thắc Mắc or Wondering is the song of a broken heart. Now, yet no one could notice the heaviness, suffering, or torment in the lyrics. Thịnh Suy has cleverly hidden them in the romantic adventure and poetic melody that lingers the listener's mind. On the evening of June the 19th, Bảo Thi officially released the Misunderstanding music video. Now, this is a sad ballad song about love composed by musician Tăng Nhật Tuệ with its settings in Europe. The MV features a sweet love story of a couple going through peaceful and sweet days together. However, at the end of the MV, viewers will be surprised to discover that the guy is the girl's lost twin brother. This is Bảo Thi's first project in 2019. The singer has had a long plan to serve the audience from now until the end of the year. The Vietnamese bamboo circus AO Làng Phố has daily performances at Sydney Opera House in Australia. This is one of the most unique bamboo circus performances in Vietnam, having been performed in 50 cities in 11 countries with over 200 performances. Now, AO Làng Phố was inspired by the image of bamboo in Vietnamese culture. Not only does the performance reflect the cultural activities, it also portrays a Vietnamese identity through lighting, sound, and art of stage settings. Hội An Asian Town is an attractive destination for many international tourists. Recently, CNN Travel has praised Hội An as one of Southeast Asia's most beautiful towns. The action revolves around the atmospheric Old Town, a colonial-era trade port that was added to UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1999, where dreamy canals, French colonial merchant houses, Japanese bridge, Chinese shop houses, and local restaurants vie for your attention. Look at it in the Hoàng Su Phi district, Hà Giang province. Ban Phụng commune is home to the La Chi ethnic people. Over the past years, they have retained their traditional culture, especially the cultivation of cotton plants for weaving. Through their talented and skillful hands, now flax cloths are transformed into dresses and scarves decorated with sophisticated brocade patterns, imbued with their indigenous cultural characteristics. And in this week's edition of Culture and Lifestyle, let's visit Ban Phụng commune to learn how La Chi people preserve and promote their traditional weaving crafts.
Ban Phụng is home to the La Chi people and some of the most beautiful rice terraces of Vietnam. Not only blessed by the beauty of nature, Ban Phụng commune captures the heart of visitors with their unique culture. To the La Chi ethnic group, their traditional costume is an important cultural feature. They do not buy fabric from other ethnic groups and only wear their homemade clothes.
Tôi thì từ lúc 15 tuổi thì tôi họ từ bà nội tôi. Nhưng đến khi tôi lên đây thì mẹ tôi già dần thì tôi cũng biết làm.
People often sow cotton seeds in January or February and harvest them in August and September. After being picked, the cotton is dried and squeezed to get rid of seeds. Then, the cotton is carded and rolled in small bars. From those threads, they continue to weave on the loom to create fabric.
Khâu diệt vải với lại bực bông thì tôi học từ bà nội tôi, còn cái từ khâu áo, khâu hoa văn, nét hoa văn này là tôi học từ mẹ tôi. Dân tộc La Chi chúng tôi thì nó lại khác với các dân tộc khác, bởi vì dân tộc La Chi chúng tôi thì mặc áo toàn màu đen hết, xong là đến khi thì con trai thì đen hết hẳn luôn, không có một nét hoa văn nào vào, còn con gái thì lại mặc váy cũng đen luôn, nên là mọi người sẽ phân biệt được.
Traditionally, the La Chi women usually wear four-piece long dresses with unique embroidered patterns on their bibs and collars. They also wear accessories such as earrings, bracelets, and turbans. Their indigo blue traditional costume looks simple, but are woven by skillful and meticulous craftspeople, especially every pattern on the clothes. The La Chi women even stitch the cloth with great care and an eye for beauty.
Về phía chính quyền xã thì cũng đang có những cái lớp mở những cái lớp tập huấn, những cái lớp mà dạy cho các em chị em ấy trong những mùa nông nhàn ấy thì là thêu thùa những cái túi hoặc là những cái khăn làm ra để thành sản phẩm để mang ra thị trường bán. Và cũng rất mong là quảng bá để cho cái sản phẩm đấy nó được có thương hiệu, để cho bà con nơi đây nó có một cái nguồn thu nhập khác so với nguồn thu nhập là từ lúa gạo. Tại vì là một năm ở đây chỉ có một mùa lúa nên là bà con ở đây rất vất vả.
In modern life, though the appearance of different types of cloth, La Chi women still maintain the culture of weaving and sewing clothes from cotton materials for family members, creating the unique identity and brand of the La Chi women.
Cái này thì dân tộc La Chi chúng tôi cũng không bỏ đâu. Ai từ nhỏ thì ai cũng sẽ học từ mẹ, từ bà nên là truyền thống của La Chi chúng tôi sẽ không bỏ.
The La Chi people have a special love for their traditional costumes. They believe their ancestors taught them how to weave, so they have always treasured the traditional weaving craft. Thus, weaving remains a beautiful part of the cultural identity of the Lachi ethnic people in Hà Giang province.
Stephen Nguyen might be a familiar name for many Vietnamese basketball lovers, especially those who follow VBA. Now, Stephen is an overseas Vietnamese in Sweden and is now playing professional basketball in Vietnam. He returned to Vietnam to fulfill the promise to his mother, but soon realized that Vietnam is where he belongs to. And in this week's edition of On the Mic, let's chat with Stephen Nguyen and learn more about his story and basketball journey.
Stephen Nguyen Tân Tu, or Stephen Nguyen, was born in 1992 as one of the VBA's most talented and beloved overseas Vietnamese basketball players. Born and raised in Sweden, Stephen had a passion for basketball since childhood. With an ideal height of 1.93 m, along with his talent, Stephen participated in Sweden's under-16, under-18, and under-20 basketball teams. He's also the first Vietnamese player to play for the Swedish national team. In 2015, he came to Vietnam for the first time after 20 years to fulfill his promise to his mother, who passed away due to cancer. She had a wish that her son would return to his homeland.
First of all, thank you so much, Stephen, for joining our show today.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Prior to returning to Vietnam, you already played professional basketball in Sweden. So tell us a bit about your basketball journey.
It started when I was actually 11 years old. I fell in love with it because it's a funny story, because my family couldn't afford having me playing ice hockey or football. So it was quite expensive, but basketball, for some kind of reason, was for free in my town in Ängelholm in southern Sweden. And all you needed was a pair of basketball shoes and a ball, and then you could be a part of it. I fell in love with the hard work and becoming better each and every day and setting up new goals. And in Sweden, they have a fairly small amount of Asian descent, Asian heritage players from Vietnam or from any of our region here in Thailand, China, or anywhere. One goal for me was to participate and represent Sweden in the youth national teams. Surely enough, I did it later, and that was my pathway of becoming a professional basketball player in Sweden. So that was something that I really keep close to heart, and from that on, moving towards professional basketball in Sweden. And that was a great foundation for me to come over to Vietnam and play professionally here.
What does basketball mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I mean, that's basically all I know. As a young adult, growing up in an environment where there's a lot of segregation between Swedish people and people from other countries coming in and living in Sweden, that helped me a lot to being integrated into the system, into the society. I felt that there's no difference between me being from Vietnam, having Vietnamese parents. And that's the thing about basketball. It's beautiful about it, because as long as you work hard and you play for your teammates and you're having fun with it, it doesn't really matter where you're from. It's more about where you're going. So I always had this curiosity of what I wanted, of my heritage, because I never visited Vietnam before. My parents always offered me to go home to Vietnam and visit my family and everything, but I was so focused in basketball, so I never had a chance. But because of basketball, I couldn't go back to Vietnam in my early years. So I promised my mom that because of basketball, I also want to thank basketball for taking me to Vietnam now and living the life to understand my heritage more. I never felt like I was fully Swedish. And when I came back here, I understand that this is more home than anywhere, because I just feel like this is where I should be.
Since his return to Vietnam in 2015, Stephen Nguyen had played for 3 clubs: Saigon Heat, Da Nang Dragons, and Hanoi Buffaloes. For him, being able to play basketball and live life in different regions of Vietnam is an opportunity to experience Vietnamese culture and the life he lacked before. This makes him love his homeland even more.
Stefan's played multiple positions for the Hanoi Buffaloes. Everything from point guard, which I think he does naturally, to power forward, because he has multiple skill sets, and his leadership is a big deal for us. And so he comes with a background of having played basketball his entire life. He understands and has a great basketball IQ and understanding of the game. So it's wonderful for me to work with him, because he understands what I'm trying to express to some of the local players, and then it really makes communication a lot easier.
When did you realize that Vietnam is the place where you belong?
It really hit me when I was standing in front of the whole crowd, my first game, and when the national anthem came on, it really got to me, because I realized that I belonged here. I looked like the people here, my people here, rather than being back home in Sweden, where I was the odd one out. Here, I just was a part of the people. I speaking the language, I eat the food, I do everything that everybody else does. It's nothing weird about it, because I could remember back home, there was a certain scent in my house of mixture of cooked rice, of len hương, of everything that my friends was like, what is this smell here? Why does it smell so different here than anything else? And that's the smell that I got when I got here to Vietnam of the same thing. So like all the senses got back to me of all that stuff that I got taught growing up was a norm here in Vietnam. And it's nothing weird about it. It's nothing I have to be ashamed of or feel like it's something different from anything else. I wasn't the odd one out anymore. I was where I'm supposed to be. So I think that's when I felt like this was home for me.
What did you gain and what did you miss out when returning to Vietnam?
I gained by finding myself, I'd say, and I lost I've missed out time with my family, but that's something that I can compensate by having them come and visiting me.
From Sweden to Vietnam to fulfill the promise to his mother, and because of his love for the homeland, this is where he will stay and where he shines in the most beautiful days of his youth. Every day for Stefan means to live and work hard with the hope that basketball will be more popular among the people. Contributing to nurturing and inspiring future Vietnamese basketball talents, he is also coaching young people who love this sport.
Anh Stefan thì truyền cảm hứng rất nhiều cho em khi em chơi bóng rổ, tại anh ấy là một cầu thủ chuyên nghiệp. Đầu tiên lúc em mới tập với anh là có một mục đích là vào đội tuyển Việt Nam, mà em ngồi đấy xem những bạn khác mà anh ấy cũng đang tập luyện chơi trong đội tuyển, thì anh ấy bảo em là một ngày nào đó em sẽ ở dưới này, thì em thấy cũng rất là bất ngờ. Nhưng mà 6 tháng sau em thấy bây giờ em đang có cơ hội đấy thì em thấy rất là cảm hứng. Anh Stefan là một người thủ lĩnh rất là tốt trên sân, và anh ấy cũng là một người chơi rất bình tĩnh, và cái đấy thì là em muốn học được từ anh, xong rồi cho nó vào cách chơi của em.
Tell us about a proud moment in your basketball career in Vietnam.
I would say the proudest moment is whenever I can represent Vietnam in international competitions, especially in SEA Games. That was a huge thing for me. I never understood it really. I mean, representing Sweden was one thing, and it was a really proudful moment. But representing Vietnam, I'm representing my whole family as a whole. I'm representing my dad, my mom.
What is your aspiration for Vietnamese basketball?
It's to become the best in Asia, for sure. I want to contribute in a way where Vietnam basketball goes forward, and to be concrete with it, to become one of the best in the Asian countries and compete in World Cup. That would be the ultimate goal for it. I don't know if that's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, but I want to be one of the ones that set the foundations for it. For the next player, maybe we will have a Vietnamese player in NBA one day. Hopefully, he or she got inspired by me or my colleagues in the professional league we play in here to become something or achieve something that's greater than themselves.
Again, thank you so much for joining our show, and we wish you the best of luck in your future aspiration.
Caucasus of Russia is a land where Europe and Asia converge. The local culture also shows interesting combinations of the East and West. Connecting Cultures this week will give you a glance of the culture of Caucasus via their cuisine. So what fascinating combinations of Eastern and Western culture will we find in these local dishes? Let's find out more.
I'm Jakarov Roman Jurovic. I've been living in Bana Hills, Da Nang City since 2012. This is my second home. My daily routine starts early in the morning. As the head chef, I have to check all the ingredients and food. In addition to the freshness, all the ingredients must be marinated precisely. You know what? In our Caucasus food, marinating is the decisive step.
Caucasus is a geographical area located on the border between Europe and Asia. It has the Caucasus Mountains, including Europe's highest mountain, Mount Elbrus. The region's cuisine mainly focuses on grilled foods with natural spices.
In Caucasus, people usually take grasses or leaves from the mountains to make spices. We will dry them in the sunlight before pounding. I think that's quite similar to the Vietnamese cuisine, which is also focuses on freshness. For each kind of meat, we have a different way to marinate with different types of leaves.
Right in the centre of the western south square of Dieu de Mai, on top of Bana Hills, 1,487 metres above sea level, Chef Roman feels like he's cooking on top of the Caucasus Mountains in his homeland. Giant pork and lamb skewers are being grilled on charcoal. Fresh salads are made from local vegetables. Aromatic sauces have been stewed for hours. Under the skillful hands of the chef, all the meals have colourful and eye-catching appearances. Most of the restaurant's employees are Russian or studied in Russia. That helps to contribute to such a lively Russian atmosphere here. All have deeply impressed diners from around the country and even international visitors who have the chance to enjoy these Caucasus flavours, even just once in the chilly space on top of Bana Hills.
Grilled fish. Food is very good. This is first time, not spicy. Not spicy, yeah. I love it.
Chị có ăn đồ ăn Nga, ở đây ok à, ở đây rất là ok, nói chung là ngon, tươi, rất là đậm đà.
From marinating to grilling the food, almost all processes are conducted outside in our kitchen. That way, visitors can see how the dishes are made and understand something about my hometown's cooking culture. When people pass by, some even stop to talk with me. That makes me feel at home, like I'm talking with neighbors. It's a motivation for me to keep staying here and cooking more delicious foods. I even think of creating a dish combining Kafkas with Vietnamese foods. It's so ambitious, I think, but who knows, I could be successful with that idea.
Russian and Kafkas cuisine are always loved for their simple style. Lively food and the friendly chef here will bring you into a different world, where you find a tight embrace of sincerity, warmth and affection from Russians.
And that is the end of our program. If you would like to provide feedback or comment on anything here on Culture Mosaic, please feel free to write us at vtvinternational@vtv.vn. You can also log on to vtv4.vtv.vn or our app VTV Go for more of our news. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Until then, goodbye.